Hello everyone who is watching. I'm just finishing preparing the technical part and we are just about to beginning. Thank you. Hello everyone who is watching. I'm just finishing preparing the technical part and we are just about to beginning. Thank you. Okay, I hope you can see me. I'm very new on these technical things, but I think we can start. Yeah. See how many we have. We are in 9. Okay. 10. Okay, I think everything's working and we can begin. We can start now. Okay, I think everything's working and we can begin. We can start now. Okay, I think everything. Oops. Well, let's start. Hello and welcome everyone to the International Institute of Integral Healthcare and Iology, or Iology Integral Healthcare. I am André Verlan Garcia, whom doesn't know me, and I would like to give a special thanks to Dr. Leonard Melmauer and Anita Sarmento for their support and to help me to make this first webinar and send all the informations and advertise to all of you, and also for all their support for many years of work together about the sclera. Um, well, I'm not very, uh, um, very practiced with these things of internet, and it's something new for me. And I do online courses, and but usually with other kind of softwares. And so this is a bit strange for me, and I please apologize for my my English and my practice during this webinar with you. Well, please welcome to the blowing of a new look on your look about the eyes. So this is the International Institute of Iology and Integral Healthcare. Vibrational and psychoenergetic sclerology, it's what we are going to talk about during this webinar. Let me just see the time here. Okay. And we are going to talk a little bit about the atoms to the eyes, okay, to understand a little bit about the information that I'm going to share with you. It's nice to know a little bit about the atoms and their relationship with the eyes. First, to go into a subject that it's very different kind of knowledge that we are usually talk about, the eyes. I would like to show you a couple of images just to think about it. Think about the things that we usually can see and that we usually can perceive, and also how do we manage with these things, okay? So the first ask is, how much do you perceive about the universe that exists around you? So this image just shows us that the sound and the image, the visual things that we can see, it's very low comparing with the whole things that it's around us. Okay, so as an example, I would like to show you what can we see when we magnify a little grain of sand in 7,500 times, okay? 7,500 times. So let's take a look on this little cup of sand. And if we magnify it for many times, okay, we can get this. This is a 200 times magnifying, right? On this image, we are going to choose this particular grain of sand, okay? So have a look what's happening when we have 1,500 times of magnifying. Have a look on this little part of the grain of the sand, okay? See how interesting is the things that we can find when we keep magnifying. So this is 7,490 times. Okay, so all this is in our hand. When we get a little bit of sand, and still we cannot see these things. Okay, so thousands of microorganisms are around us. Although we cannot see them, we can feel the effects of the presence of many of them in our bodies. Okay, so what's the point? The point is just to have a look, just to have an idea of many microorganisms that it's around us, that we live with it, and we have no idea how is it. We have no idea where is it, where are them, and also they still interact with us, and we have feelings about the results of this interaction. Okay, why I'm showing this to you? Because we are going to talk about a very abstract subject. That's sudden energy, right? So just to have to open our minds to understand that because we cannot feel, we cannot see, we cannot hear, that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It does, and it does exist with so much life, okay? And it's have so much interaction with us. Actually, it's all about energy. Our body is energy with a very huge and high density of energy, but it's energy, okay? Okay, so the same happens with the southern energy that surrounds us. We cannot see it because of two limitations of the human being. Neurosensory is one of those. Our neurobiologic sensors are too limited to perceive this, okay? And the other one, it's cultural aspects. Our brain is trained to believe that this is not possible, okay? Forming a blockage to this possibility and not work with our subtle energetic sensory system, right? Keeping focus on the material things, and that makes everything gets difficult. So we have difficult to perceive any kinds of subtle energy. Okay, right. So let's go on. Although our nervous system is part of our physiology, we depend on complex instruments to see the energy flowing through our neurons, their axons, and so on. Still, we don't have instruments to detect the chakras activities in details. Okay? I mean, we don't have conventional and recognized by the science instruments that can perceive and detect the chakras activities in details. Something to show their interaction between each other and our mind. That's still not possible with instruments. Okay, we don't go to a laboratory and ask for an exam to see how is my chakras, right? We go to labs to do exams, for blood exams, for any kind of physical exams, but not to see how it's the harmony of our chakras, to see how is the harmony of our vibrational fields and how it's interacting with our mind, our emotional, and our mind and thoughts. Yeah, and how does it they are interaction with our physical body, and specifically which kind of, of physiology system they are interacting and interfering. Yeah, so we don't go to a lab and ask for this kind of exams. So what we do? So, and their influence with our physical body is not easy to find as well, all right? And their influence with physical body in real time, then, it's more difficult yet. We don't need a complex instrument to do that. That's the point. That's the new. Okay, so the new information is we don't need a lab and a particular instrument to do that, right? And why? Because we already can see the psychoenergetic constitution, our chakras and vibrational fields, and the fingerprint of the personality in the iris. Okay? In the iris, we can see all the patterns of our personality, patterns of thoughts, emotional, and how we perceive the things around us and how we react with these things. Okay, all the stimulus that we have around us result in a reaction, and that reaction depends on how we perceive these things. Okay, but also on the iris, we can see more than the simple patterns. We can see the real fingerprint of the ones, right? With very precise details. Okay? That is possible to see in the iris. So our psychoenergetic constitution, it's possible to see in the iris. But in the iris, we can't see what's happening in real time. In the iris, we can't see what we are doing with our personality constitution, with our psychoenergetic constitution, that we can't see in the iris in real time, right? On this case, we have the sclera. The scleras comes to show us what's happening on real time, what our history of emotions, of thoughts, of mind, everything, vibrational fields, psychoenergetic information are very rich expressed in the scleras. Okay, in the scleras we can see everything that people cannot say by vocal expression, by verbal expression. Okay, so we can see the most important information from the chakras. Not only what's happening now, not only what's happening from the last year, but we can see the constitution, our energetic constitution in the sclera. What's that? Energetic constitution tells us about how it's our energetic system, how we came and grew up on this life with certain certain qualities of chakras. Which chakras are more vulnerable? I'm sorry, my English. Which chakras it's more fragile? Okay, if I can say it like that's metaphor. Okay, and this can tell us since the one is kid. Okay, which vibrational fields is going to may have more issues, and what emotional aspects the ones can have more difficulty to lead with them. Okay, all that we can see in both iris and in the sclera. Right, in the sclera we can see even the energetic constitution and what's happening during the life and what's happening now. Okay, so but how does the expression of the chakras and the emotions in the sclera occurs? How does it happen? Well, let's see by the physiologic system. That's easy to understand. So we have in our heart and our circulatory system, cardiovascular system, right? All the explanation that brings all the blood from all of your systems and brings also to the sclera, right? So our heart pumps our blood to all systems for all our body through to the sclera as well. So the irrigation, the, the bringing of blood for all the lines, all the vessels in the sclera give us a perfect idea of what's happening in our system, in our physiological system by watching the sclera, okay, observing the sclera, right? But what is the heart? Heart is not only a pump of blood for our body. Heart is also a pump of energy to our body. How does it work? Let's have a look, a fast have a look on this biofeedback from Dr. Dan Winter from the University of Detroit. Okay, have a look in the spaces of each pumping of the heart. And on this one, actually, is the harmonic. It's showing us the sounds that the pumping of heart is doing. Okay, see the intervals between each one and also the exactly time of each is exactly the same. That's interesting. So now see the pumping here on the ICG, okay, the currents, right? So the currents, we have a particular number, okay, like this one. Actually, the right number is 618, but here we have 620, right? But a very rhythm, healthy rhythm heart, it would be 118. Okay, on this case, what do we have here? We have the Fibonacci's golden ratio. And that's interesting because if we do this in a 3D graphic, we have the same graphic as a vortex, okay, which is the same graphic that we can see in the whole things in the universe, okay. And then we see the pumping of the heart, sending informations in vibration like this, okay, while it works with the blood in our physiological system. It also send for the all our energetic system, sending vibrational like this, okay, right. So this image of a 3D ECG by Dr. Arthur T. Winfrey, theoretical biologist from Arizona University. This exam done during the stimulation of a feeling of compassion, right? So this is the image of the ICG in 3D, okay, of the heart, right? So we have this donut graphic, exactly the same donut that we have on the toroidal dynamic, okay, which explains all the energetic movement in the universe. That's not only uh, um, what was I'm going to say what's that in English? Um, oh, I forgot it. Anyway, that's have a meaning. That's have a reason. That's I'm explaining the opposite way. Okay. Well, so the interesting thing is the heart has 7 layers of muscles, right? We have also, and in each layers works by its own time. So it's squeeze and contract and expand the heart each time of each layer. So each layer it's moving, squeezing and expanding and making all the movement exactly the same as a donut. Okay, again, exactly the same as the toroidal dynamic, right? So it works like a vortex as well, a vortex of energy, right? Moving like this, making movements like this. Okay. All right, I remember the word that I would like to say just a second before. Coincidence. So that's not coincidence. I think it's English as well, I hope. Anyway, so that's not coincidence. That have a reason. Okay. So actually our heart do this movement of energy as everything. And why it's not coincidence? It's because we have each layer connected to one different chakra, right? So our muscle of pump, our pump muscle, our heart, doing this movement, are working energetically with all chakras of our body and all vibrational fields as well, right? And the result of this, it's a donut which multiplies many times like this. Okay, so we can image the um, the human integral system. Why integral system? Because get together our physiology, mind, thoughts, emotional, and an energetic system. It's all one. We cannot separate each one. It's everything connected. When we see a tissue, this tissue is energy and it's connected with one kind of vibrational field. And also, this tissue doesn't matter which kind of tissue are, it's connected with a different vibrational field, which are correlated with one particular chakra. Okay, I hope in my rust English it's been enough to to share with you all these informations. Anyway, at the end of our webinar, please do all your questions right on the chat. When we finish, I'm going to see all questions and answer all of you, okay? And thank you for your comprehension and passions to follow my poor English. So the same thing that happens with physiology system for our eye, for our sclera, happens also with energy. So our heart and all our body brings their energy to our sclera with the same way. Okay, not only for the heart, but all our tissues are connected with energy, with atoms, with our protons, electrons, and neutrons. Okay, so it happens like this. That's just an illustration, of course. Yeah, so our heart it's pumping energy for all our system, okay, and to our sclera as well. And whatever happening with this person, it's going to flow the energy to to our sclera as well. Okay, so the experience that our vibrational fields has in any circumstance are transmitted through our chakras to the tissues of the physical body. And so this energy vibrates in the 7 times 10 on 27. That means 7 times 8 7 times octillions. It's hard to me to say in English, sorry. Okay, atoms. Anyway, it's 27 zeros, okay, multiplied for 7. Atoms that we have more or less, that's an average that we have in our body, okay, and they are protons, electrons, and they are neutrons, okay, that make up all the tissues of the physical body. So it's important to understand that why we cannot see anymore our body in separate parts, in sections. It's all together, it's all one thing. When we see the hand, that's energy, and that energy vibrates and receive and transmit energy, and that's subtle energy, right? So once we learn how to perceive the one as pure energy, we begin to understand all the ones, everyone as pure energy. And then we understand everything that's happened with the one as an expression of their energy. So our emotion, it's expression of our energy, of our thoughts, and our mind, and how everything how it works. And our physical body, it's 100% expression of our subtle energy. Okay, and that's expressing itself in the sclera in real time, and that's the great thing. Okay, that's make we get very happy to see that we have a structure in our body that we can see what's happening right now and what's happening a couple of time ago, and build a history of the ones with the sclera. Okay, anyway, some people ask me, what is the advantage to observing the expression of chakras and emotion in the eyes? Why are you going to use that? Why that's interesting? Well, to who still do this question, that's a very simple reason. So the reason is very simple. That's one of my phrases. As you scream about who you believe to be, your eyes whisper about who you really are. Also, the mouth sees nothing, but speaks of everything and everyone. And the eyes see everything but speaks only about what is our and always the truth. That's two good reasons to identify our personality and looking for our emotional issues and things on the sclera, in the iris and the eyes. Okay? What can be observed of vibrational and psychoenergetic aspects in the sclera? We can see energetic constitution, most vulnerable chakras, the fragile chakras, let me say, use this word, armor segments of William Reich. We also can see the fragile segments of William Reich to do to those who is familiar with bioenergetic, yeah, and William Reich knowledge, right? So it's very nice, very good to see the segments of armor segments of William Reich and understand the 7 segments that William Reich connected with emotions and contractions in our body. Okay, that's possible to see also in the iris and in the sclera. In the iris, we can see the fragile segments, the fragile armor segments, right? In the sclera, we can see which are those armor segments that are having more contractions on around this time of this the one, okay, in real time right now, and what's happening on the last few months. All depends what kind of signs, the signals that we are seeing on the sclera. Okay. Also, we can see the psychological types of Jung, right? Carl Gustav Jung, okay, from the Jungian um, psychology, all right? Both we can see in the iris and the sclera, okay? Again, with the same kind of observing. The iris will show the constitution this kind. And what I mean with saying about constitution, those psychological types that it's more often can be have disharmony, all right? And the sclera are going to show what it's in more disharmony right now. Rayed patterns. Well, all iridologists knows about rayed method from Danny Johnson's and the iris. Well, we can also make a correlation with rayed and the sclera, right? And we can find the different rayed patterns in the sclera, okay? Chronorisco from Daniele Lorito, Dr. Daniele Lorito, in different areas. Dr. Daniele Lorito have been showing new areas to observe the chronorisco, not only at the colorate anymore, but also on Limbos area, okay? And I would like to show you in the future, not possible today because too much things to show, but we can see the chronorisco in other areas in the sclera also, okay? Anyway, all emotions not expressed by others, other ways of expression, it's an identifiable, it's possible to see in real time in the sclera. How can we see the expression of the chakras and emotions in the sclera? So that's the big question that all of you are watching this webinar, isn't it? So let's see. We can see observing these signals, these signs. Well, type of lines, what kind of lines we are watching, we are seeing, okay? Type of signals and signs, gels, pigments, and changes in the sclera. Actually, in the sclera tissue also will tell us information about the chakras, vibrational fields, and emotions and thoughts. line's direction to where it starts and where it's going, the lines also will show us the beginning and where it's going. So can show us the symptoms and the cause of the emotional and feelings and things that's happening. The topography reflects location of each signals. We also have a reflex topography map about the chakras and vibrational fields, and also the segments or arm, armor segments of William Reich and the sclera as well. Of course, in the iris too. Okay, so the union of these combinations all allow us to build the psychoenergetic and the vibrational history and to understand the the present moment, as well as to identify the active and suppressed emotions in real time. Let's see how does it work. So observe these signs on this photo, this picture of this one. Okay, it's just an illustrated picture, but let's observe this sign here. Okay, this line, that's enough to tell us something. The origin of it, it's telling us that it's something about the fourth chakra. We can think many things what's happening about the fourth chakra of this one. Okay, and it's not new. It's something that this person has been carrying for a long time. Can be correlated with self-esteem, with how much this person loves herself, okay, and things like that. Well, this line it's going to a third chakra area. And then we can see what's happening. We we make questions to them. So what's happening with you right now? Are you leading with something that's hard for you? Maybe with social, maybe with at work and things like that. Okay. Anyway, it may not be something strong. Okay. Maybe it's something that usually it's normal for everyone. But for this one, for this person in particular, can be something hard to lead with it. Why I'm saying that? Because she has a lacuna also on the third chakra area. So that means that she already has a vulnerability of the third chakra. So for her to lead with things correlated with third chakra, right? It's something can be hard for her. Okay? Anyway, so let's go for some other examples. Here we have what we know as a S-line, as Dr. Melmauer teaches. Okay? That's also a primary line, okay? And as it is, it's already a prime B. All right, so a primary line, it's correlated of a chakra vulnerability. Doesn't matter where it is. Where is it, okay? Um, and a primary B means that this chakra that has already a vulnerability begins to present some kind of dysfunction of disharmony. Right? The location of this line is between the first chakra and the second chakra, which meaning the meaning of this can be loss of vitality by the rigidness of character. Okay, so the rigid of character of this one can help, I mean, it's correlate with the possibility of this one lost their vitality. Okay, that's that sign, that signal means that it is an unconscious issue of forgiveness may be found. Why unconscious issue may be found? Why this one doesn't have 100% of knowledge of this? Because we are seeing a primary line. A primary line brings us the information. It's correlated information that maybe the ones doesn't have the the, um, the knowledge, doesn't have the consciousness that his rigid character can do that, and it's doing that. Okay, and it's been doing that for a long time. All right. So primary lines tell us usually unconscious information, right? It comes from the unconscious. Okay. All primary B was a primary A before. So these changes means that the related issues are interfering on the personality. Okay, so it's bringing its information to us that's energetic disharmony. It's happening. Of course, we know that, and it's easy. We usually know the information to who knows sclerology about the physiology, right? And of course, some information about the emotion as well, okay, that we've been learning with Dr. Melmauer, okay? But we with this, watching a primary B, that that of course it was a primary A, we actually have a vibrational disharmony happening, okay? Once we know that it's on the area on the reflex topography area of the first and the second chakra, we already are able to make connections with what's meaning the first and second chakra. Then we have here, excuse me a moment, I'm forgetting to drink some water. Then we have here the secondary line, right? Which we know that it's an influence line. It's bringing the influence of the first disharmony for the second area. Okay? Also means a chakra disharmony, but extending to another vibrational fields, other vibrational chakras. Here we have the third chakra location. But also we have something else here on this area. And what this area will show us. See these lines? They are all connected. That's the fourth chakra disharmony. All right. And what's the reading of that? So this fourth chakra are bringing influence for the disharmony of the third chakra also. Okay. Then we have here a history to build of the first, second, third, and fourth chakras. Well, the reading of this case, it is a possible pattern of rigidity developed in childhood that may be related to education that received from the parents. Okay, so this rigid of character could happen, can be built from the childhood, from the educational that he received from the parents. But that's not the only reason, because this person brings that from his own vibrational constitution, energetic constitution. Okay, the way that this one have been has his educational during the childhood just increased the 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 energetic aspects of the one. Okay, so this, so here maybe we have the cause of this case, and this get the influence to the fourth chakra, right? Then here at the fourth chakra we have the pattern of stiffness developed and nurtured since childhood may have weakened and their self-esteem resulting in insecurity. Okay, people who has doubt of on case that if he's good enough, he can do that or not, feeling that it's not good enough to do things, right? To get their challenges and issues, right? And but unsure about what? Insecure about what? Let's find out. Unsure and unsecured about the insecure to deal with social challenges, responsibilities, professional competitiveness, issues, yeah? um, which usually we are going to see what kind of expression of symptoms. Fear of being compared and failed, right? And where is this? It is here. It's the connection of all this information of these lines, right? Of course, we do all the physiology correlations of these lines, but also in parallel, we do all the vibrational psychoenergetic correlations. Because, as I said in the beginning, all our physiology tissues are an expression of our vibrational tissues, vibrational energy and systems. Okay? So on this case, this is the expression of the emotional symptom. Okay? So here we have the, the expression of everything that's happening. And here we have the cause, where everything begins, right? It's normal on this case that this person have not only difficult to lead with competitive, with things on the work, on job and things on social things, be compared and things like that. But also this person can present some kind of problems and difficult to forgive. The forgiveness is also a thing to be investigated here. Okay, let me see what time. Okay, okay, let's see another case just to improve our illustration of this. So here we have this kind of gel, right, which is known on sclerology. Oops, sorry. And I'm going to call, just to make it easy, a yellow gel. All right. This yellow gel, it's correlated with the third chakra disharmony, right? And what is the cause? Where is the cause? How I'm going to looking for it? So the cause maybe is here on this area. See the connection on this area? It's a fifth chakra area, right? Anyone else? Any other cause? Any other root where it could begin? Yes. this area as well. Okay, we know that the picture is not very well seen here, right? The focus is on this area, but we know that we are coming the reddish part here in the fourth chakra. Okay, we know that what is this on physiology, sclerology, functional sclerology. Yeah, so the reddish area on here, yeah, it's about heart, isn't it? Of course, depending which side. Anyway, here we have the fourth chakra, right? So fifth chakra and fourth, and get together here. Fifth chakra again. Here, these lines got together and went all the way until this area, right? This area, it's connected around here with the third chakra, and here also the fourth chakra. Wow, that's interesting. So what does it mean, all this? Let's read it. Yellow gel is related to suppression or blocking of our will, may be related to frustration expressed in the form of anger. All right, what else? The fifth chakra on this area, particular, will tell us something about possible overjudgment, stuck to preconceptions. Okay, and the fifth chakra on this area we will be able to mean stagnation or congestion for possible suffering through trial. Okay, judgment, ex exceed of judgments, right, and preconceptions, and all that is going to interfere, of course, on the self-esteem affected here on this area, right? So here we have the root, the beginning of all this, right? And the increased are here, and we are going to find probably the suppressed emotional on this area here. Okay, well, that was just a little part of the whole universe that we have information that the scleras can show us about the whole thing, about the whole human integral being that we can see. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed our webinar, and that was just the first one, and we are planning more and more webinars, and I hope with this practice my English will be getting better, and I'm getting used to use all these technical things of internet and cameras and these things. Well, our institute currently offers 36 short courses and eight all full training courses. Of these, 20 are courses resulting from my own work, my own research, and almost unheard yet. Okay, the subjects usually are integral healthcare, integral biology, pupil, iris, and sclerology, quantum physics applied to the integral human being, vibrational therapy, and psychoenergetic healthcare. Please contact us. This is our email that we can see on yellow writing. And I'd like to say just a couple of words I would usually I say to my students. From Siddhartha Gautama to the Yellow Emperor, from Socrates, Hippocrates, from Leonardo da Vinci to Einstein, Samuel Hahnemann and Constantine Hering, Freud, Jung, Reich, and, and Lowen, the eyes reflect the truth of all theories which unveil the nature to find the integral health. Okay? And this one I did translate it, write it down. No matter how colorful the makeup is, it does not reach the brightness of your soul expressed in your eyes. Did you enjoy this webinar? Would you like to watch the next webinars? We are planning a bunch of webinars. Please follow the Institute on the net and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We will be glad to meet you in our next webinar. This is our institute, International Institute of Biology and Integral Healthcare. My deeply thanks to Dr. Melmauer and Anita Sarmento. Love and light to all of you. Thank you very much to participate and for your comprehension to my English and some mistakes. And I hope to see you in the next webinars and maybe someday alive somewhere on this world. Okay? Now I'm going to answer all your questions. That you may write on the chat. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you to all of you. More questions, please, you can send by email, and as possible, I'm going to write you. Okay? Thank you very much, and see you next time.